You know who's also really excited about the games coming out?
Who is?
Microsoft and Xbox.
Ooh.
Yes.
So let's go on to
Transition.
Yeah, let's go on to my topic, which is going to be Microsoft's conference. So there's a lot of jam-packed goodness in here, including, hell, we're going to talk about new consoles. We're going to talk about old consoles. We're going to talk about consoles that are getting facelifts. And we're going to talk about exclusive games. And we're going to talk about features and updates.
That's a lot of talking.
There's a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to get to it fairly quickly. The big thing that they're starting to really push, which I'm excited for. So we're talking about a little bit. Hold on, I'm going to back up for a second. I'm just going to take 2 steps back. I'm going to start
talking
with.
You got to do. You got to get talking.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the original, like the first thing that they come out with, which is everybody knows about Xbox One, how all of you guys hate it, and it has Power Brick and it has a Kinect and it's big. But now they're coming out with the Xbox One S, which stands for Slim. So the Slim that's coming out is going to be 40% smaller. It's going.
This is the facelift.
Yep. This is the facelift. So it's going to be 40% smaller. It comes out in all white. Other colors I don't think are coming just yet. There is no Kinect port. However, for people who already own a Kinect, they will get a free
Some
port
Bluetooth adapter.
Adapter, thank you. Yeah, brain fart. They'll get a free adapter that goes into the back. There's also no Power Brick. So that's a big thing, and it's quieter.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Yep. It will also support.
Thank you.
It will also support 4K, and it's got.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
So in addition to its tweaked design, like the Kinect ports and stuff like that, it's going to have a new controller, which is going to have textured back. So you'll have a better grip, as well as like an update to the D-pad, more like. Better controlled thumbsticks. They're tweaking that a little bit. Mappable buttons, the new headset, so you can just use your earphones. I mean, that's something that's around now, but that's going to be continued into the controller. In addition, you're going to be able to customize your controller. So have you guys ever gotten to like Nike.com and be like, man, I need a new fucking pair of kicks. Let me go to Nike.com and let me just like start customizing colors and stitching.
All the time.
So that exact, all the time, right. So that exact system.
Serious.
Oh, okay, great, because I do it too.
Yeah.
That exact system is basically being placed for the Xbox controller. So you're going to now be able to choose from all different color palettes and change your faceplate, change the bumpers, change the back. You can change your buttons.
Of course, if you're buying it online.
You're buying it online, yeah. And so it's like $80, fully customized with colors, and you can get they do engraved stitching, so you can get your name tag or like some kind of name,
like
whatever.
ASIN, your gamer tag.
Dude, I'm all about this, man.
I mean, it's cool. No, it's totally. Don't get me wrong. It's totally cool. But that's not really like E3. Like, guys, hey, mom, did you see that I can customize my controller now?
Fair.
You know.
Fair point. It's a little bit of the icing of the cake of the Xbox One S. So we'll move on to the more important stuff.
Well, I was gonna say you didn't mention that they're gonna have like online arenas cross gaming.
I'm getting there, Steve.
Oh, my bad.
God.
Sorry.
Man,
you told me to do research,
E3
so that's
guy.
what I did.
Damn,
that's what I'm doing.
He's just letting us know that he's done it. He's like, yo, dude, I know about
He's
this
like,
shit.
I just want to let you know. You guys.
I don't know if you heard about this.
Because we still didn't
yet,
get to the other
but-
shit that I just talked about. You're like, see in the corner.
I get it. I'll get it. I got you. I got you, man.
So the next couple of features that they're adding to the Xbox One and the Xbox One S and any future console are including, the clubs, but we'll get to that in a second. It's going to be background music. You can play any music that you want. You got Cortana integration.
While you're playing a game,
Yeah.
you can play background music. Okay, go.
That's awesome. I'd have to buy an Xbox.
I like that idea.
Wait, that's not an Xbox 360.
Bullshit. No,
Oh, it is?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Where was I?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Playing background.
Yeah.
Playing background music? Yeah, dude.
All
Rob,
day.
my old roommate, would
All day.
play like black metal while playing Battlefield 3 or whatever all the time, so he could have his own soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So that's finally coming to
Ancient
Xbox One.
technology.
Yeah, but
Ancient.
the fact that Xbox One doesn't have it is weird.
The fact that PlayStation doesn't have it at all is weird.
Yeah.
Because it's a gaming console.
Wow.
For gamers.
Language region independence. It's kind of new. So the big ones are the clubs. So the clubs allow you to go and basically play with people like yourself with games like yourself.
So you can play with yourself?
Yeah, so like there's
Yep.
going to be a division
What?
club, so you can join in there and like you'll be able to talk to people and join like different games or like it's kind of like a guild type deal.
Yeah.
Then there's looking for group now. So you can find people that want to play very specific things and very specific games.
Nice.
Yeah. So this like you'll just see looking for Halo 4, looking for Division, looking for blah blah blah. You join there. Looking for Division this, looking for Division that. You
Yeah,
join in there.
incursion for the division.
Exactly. That'd be really
Your
useful for
score
those
of
games.
215 plus.
So
Yeah.
Xbox is really
Only kick
Oh.
F, kick if no above.
Xbox
Or
is really
verbally raped.
moving
Wait,
towards
either
a an over like they're building infrastructure that will support all games, very similar to what Steam has and like what a lot of games have in terms of lobbies and stuff. So they're making playing games with people a lot easier.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, they're also introducing arenas, which are again another overarching foundational structure for all games to be played into. So you have Division, you can actually do competitive multiplayer tournaments, and so anybody can set these up. So you can look for a Madden tournament that's going on right now, you can look for a Division tournament that's going on right now, or like a FIFA tournament that's going on right now, and then you see the brackets, and then either going to be EA sponsored ones and other like company sponsored ones that you can join into and win prizes and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty
which
cool.
is pretty neat.
Can you host your own though?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So the
like,
cool concept that I see about that is that like if that's really getting the gaming community like
Together.
linked together
Without
you know
a
what I
game
mean?
necessarily even needing the function, maybe like the
Yeah,
built-in
right.
function. So
well, that's what I'm wondering. How do you host a tournament that would be like within a bubble?
I'm not
to have
sure.
that element.
I'm not
Because
too
like
sure.
Division is like a kind of open world for the PvP part. So how would you keep other people from coming into your like?
Yeah, so
tournament
Division might be a
things?
bad example. It would probably be reserved for more competitive type
Competitive
games.
multiplayer games. Okay,
Like that
okay.
actually can have or support a tournament type of structure, like a
Gotcha.
Street
Like a
Fighter or something like
Battlefront
that.
or something like
Like
that.
Unreal
Yeah.
Tournament.
Unreal Tournament. Yeah.
Overwatch, all that different stuff.
And then, in addition to that, they're
Eagle
moving
Flight.
even further into Windows 10 support with Xbox. So a lot of what they're pushing for, especially for their exclusive games, is when you buy the game for Xbox One, you get a free copy of Windows 10 and vice versa. So if you bought the Windows 10 version or PC version, you get the Xbox One as well, which I think is pretty huge. So someone who buys Rocket League now gets
That
the
is
PC.
That is big.
In addition
like that.
to, they're adding games that have cross-platform. So Rocket League PC players and Xbox players, they can all play together. The other big thing that they announced is, like in the same vein, is Minecraft Realms. So anybody playing a PC Minecraft, Xbox Minecraft, iOS Minecraft, or Android Minecraft will all play together, which is
Oh,
crazy.
very cool.
That was a cool thing.
So
Wow, that's
So they like merged all those like networks or
yes,
something like
so
that. I'm guessing it's
they're
one
heavily
world.
focused on getting players together on multiple platforms very, very easily and efficiently, which I think is a really great step forward.
And
in
that's
gaming.
just Xbox
Well,
moving forward with that,
yeah.
and Microsoft. Okay.
Microsoft.
now I have a question on that, Clay. Okay, do you think that there would be an advantage though to someone playing on a certain platform? Like, okay,
Like
if you think
PC
about it,
versus Xbox. You're
yeah,
saying?
like
I don't know. You kind of, yeah. But it's possible, but like, I don't know. It's debatable too because let's take a fighting game for example. There's people who are really good with the stick and people who are really good with the controller, and it's just to each their own. And same with shooters. Like I think there definitely is like that gets really hard because you can get really, really technical and precise with a keyboard and mouse. But there's things that like aim assist can be contributed to the controller. So it's kind of hard. I don't know if you'd ever go into like super, super competitive tournament play with that or want to. And I would imagine if they're smart, you'd be able to separate yourself if you didn't want to be merged with someone of the, you know what I mean? But like Rocket League is a little bit like, it's a little bit easier to merge themselves. Same with
Type of
Minecraft.
game.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is
Type
like
of
super
game
in the
matters.
super in the details and stuff like that. But that sometimes like PC games could be moddable too as well, which might give a little bit of that advantage kind of feel over that.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's
But I mean,
possible.
like I said, we're just nitpicking at that point. Like, I think the fact that they got like this cross-platform thing being developed is like huge because that's just going to open up those communities even larger. And I think that they just created the Facebook of the gaming community with making those hubs where people can now communicate with one another to set up groups or to play a game or to do whatever. Like, that's a big deal because it gives them a one-stop shop location to be able to like communicate with one another and to make gaming happen.
Yeah.
You know? Like that sometimes can be a difficult thing, like being the new kid in the block, going to school and wanting to communicate with other people. It makes it easier
I mean,
having something like that.
Well, I
So-
mean, I like the fact that, like, say, if you get it the same copy for your PC and everything, like, say I go over to Clay's house and he
Yeah, I
has
like
an
that too.
Xbox, and we don't want to play on the same TV, I could just play the same game on his computer while he's playing on the TV.
they had
So
a
it'd be
couple big pillar initiatives, and what you're describing, Steve, is the one where it said play anywhere. Like,
Right.
always
That's
be able to
awesome.
play wherever you are. And so that's why
Yeah.
when you buy an Xbox One game, you can play it on your PC. And now that you can go back and forth, achievements and all that progress, it all gets transferred. So
That's huge,
awesome.
though. The fact that I mean, that in itself is big, because if I could go out there and I could buy a PlayStation game and also get that same game for my computer, that's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's got
I
so
like
much
that.
more value now for me as a gamer for that game itself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that in itself is something that like looks that for me. I'm like, wow, that's kind of
Yeah,
tempting. Now
I
look at, like Xbox now.
Yeah, that's what I was
mean,
thinking
like-
too. I was like, yeah, I might just do Xbox.
like as much as I was like, not that I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do it at all, but that that's a pretty good
Traders.
program.
Traders.
Yeah. No, that's just a
Oh,
program.
Yeah,
Ian,
moving
you sound so
forward.
good when you get close to
I'm
the
getting
mic.
really good value on top of, like you were saying,
talk.
some of these Xboxes are now coming out with the ability.
It's just, and there's certain people that will only play Xbox, certain people, or only play console and only play PC. This allows you to play with your friends. Like,
yeah, exactly.
you know, if a game came out all platform, but for whatever reason, Rocco, you didn't want to play PC because your PC sucks and you want to stay with console. Well, you can get the Xbox One, and then all of us can be on PC, like Overwatch, for instance, and then
Yeah,
we would all be able to play together.
Yeah.
So it opens up the
That's,
doors.
see, that's
to play
why,
with your
like,
friends
for
a
me
lot
at
more.
least, for me as a consumer, that's a huge door that
Yep.
it just opened, where I might go
Yeah.
buy a $500 Xbox or whatever the hell it costs, just because I'm like, damn,
$299
for me,
actually now.
for me solo, it's better to play games on the console, like, because my internet and it's not that great, so playing on there and those servers, it works better for me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But whenever we do, like, competitive gameplay, I really like to play PC games more when it comes to competitive gameplay online.
Right.
Like really competitive than I do so much console.
Yeah. So
That would be huge.
So, real quick, they've also announced a slew of games. Gears of War 4, obviously, is coming out. They have Gwent, the Witcher 3 card game. The mini game they're turning into a real game. Think like Hearthstone a little bit in its production value. So that's going to be its own game. We're going to have Tekken 7 come early
Oh, shit.
2017. You got Dead Rising 4, which is coming out. Everybody's favorite zombie kind of style game. If that's not your style of zombie game, they also announced State of Decay 2 coming out 2017.
Ooh.
So that's very fun. Halo Wars 2, not a fan of Halo Wars, but we'll see if they can improve upon the console RTS experience.
It's an RTS, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Scalebound is coming to PC. What else do I have here? Oh, Inside, which I'm super excited for, is release date July 7th. It is from the creators of Limbo. So if you guys enjoyed Limbo, like I did, it was one of my favorite games that I played that year. This game takes that tone and atmosphere, and then with a little bit of different style, but really in the same vein as Limbo. It's very creepy, puzzle-orientated platformer. It looks really great. So check that out. We talked about The Division. Let's see. General Ram is coming to Killer Instinct as a playable fighter. He's the main bad guy in Gears of War 1. So that's kind of fun. We got Forza
right.
Horizon 3 announced. Oh, ReCore has a release date on September 13th. I'm very interested in ReCore. If you guys were a fan of 3D platformers, this is kind of in that vein. Which is very interesting because I always wonder if they did this because the game did it, but the ability to change your character on the fly, very much like Overwatch. So if you want to play the very quick mobile character, or you want to but it's in the 3D platform space, single player, so think that mechanic within that realm. So I don't know, Super Mario 64, with the ability to switch between Yoshi and Princess Peach and Luigi at the whim to solve a puzzle or defeat an enemy.
So you have to rely on it pretty much. You couldn't just play the same character through the whole
Right,
game.
it is an integral part of what you're doing.
I guess it would be comparable to the Lego games, like how you have to change your guy to get to a certain thing.
Yeah, but
Or
I guess.
what's that one?
I was gonna say there's another game where it's like 3 characters you can.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. It's like a
Lost
side scroller
Vikings.
too.
Banjo,
What was it called?
Banjo-Tooie?
No.
Banjo-Kazooie?
No.
No, it's got a really nice visual look to it. It's sorcery, like a sorcerer, and then a knight, and then something else.
And they all have different things that they can do. That
I want to say torchlight, but it's not what it is. It's like amulet or something, something like that.
We'll have to look into
Can't
that.
think of the name
And then
of it.
finally, Xbox revealed Xbox Scorpio, which is their next console. And it's going to be backwards compatible with all Xbox One games.
You do not look happy, Alan.
It is going to have 4K support. It's
Yeah.
coming out Christmas of
Yeah.
2017. It is going to have all everything that's their mantra here is nobody left behind. So everything that you have for the previous Xbox will work with this game, and all games for the Xbox Scorpio will work with Xbox One S and Xbox One games. So you're not left behind, and you'll be it's really
So you can buy the Scorpio or whatever, Scorpio, whatever it's called, games right now, even if you don't have the console quite yet.
Correct.
Like
Yes.
looking to go and invest into it later.
yes.
Well, what's the point of the new console? Like,
So it's
just supporting 4K.
It's basically 4K and it's gonna have VR ready. So Fallout 4
Oh.
announced that
So
they're
that's
gonna be
the
able
two differences between anything else. Is just that you have the VR capabilities now and 4K quality.
and 4K quality. Yeah, and it's gonna be basically setting you up for another 5 years, right? And so they're or 4 years or 3 years, however, whenever these cycles start coming
Yeah,
out
this
again.
cycle is starting to shrink a
It's
lot.
No, it's big time. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
So think about it like iPhone-ish. You have your 6S, you have your 6, and then your 5S.
That's exactly what Yukiko said, because I was complaining to her about this. If we can just talk about this whole console thing for a second. I was like, yeah, usually, I mean, up until this year, the console cycle is like 5-6 years. It went
Right.
a long time between Xbox 360 and Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4.
Right.
And every time you get a new one, you shell out 400, 500, 600 bucks, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, well, I don't want to be having to upgrade my PlayStation 4, which I just bought, 3 years ago or something.
Right.
And spend another $400, $500 for it. And she's like, well, people with like phones, if you get an iPhone or something, people are upgrading that every 2 years about, and those are even more expensive than consoles these days. That's like $700.
Yeah.
So I can understand where they're trying to move to that direction, but as gamers, I feel like that's a little bit of a harder pill to swallow when it's like such a big deal to upgrade to the next console in the first place.
Here's something that happens with that phone scenario too, though. They get like you get like a discount getting an
you
upgrade,
get an upgrade,
phone or something
yeah.
like that. So they only have to pay like maybe instead of the whole phone price, which is like $700, which I think is
Yeah.
ridiculous as it is. I think that then you have to pay like maybe 100, 150 or something like that. What if like consoles or Sony or Xbox did something like that? Like said, hey, we're coming out with the PlayStation 4S. And if you're going to upgrade to this one, we'll take your refurbished ones and resell those or do whatever we can.
Yeah,
we'll-
but I
That's
don't-
great.
and we'll give
I
you like
don't-
a $150 credit towards the other one.
I don't
So-
think that'd be great though, because then they would just come out with some stupid shit like like when they upgrade the iPhone, it's really not upgraded. Like, oh yeah, you have slow motion now, camera. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
huge difference. So you might want to do that. You know
Well,
what I mean?
that is
They
exactly
might
what
do
they're
some stupid shit. You know what I mean, like that, and just say,
Yeah.
oh, it's got like a better chip in
Yeah.
it, which
That's exactly
give
what
you
these are, though.
Yeah,
more
that's
frame
Alan-
rate or something. I don't know.
That's Alan's point too. The fact that they're doing that so fast is that
But can you
they're
imagine
not
every
really
2
releasing
years,
it with
though?
a lot of
That would-
quality. There's not like when I asked Clay, I was like, "What's the difference?" He's like VR and 4K. Okay, so there's only two things there on the major difference. Now those are pretty big differences in quality that's coming out right now.
Well,
nowadays.
it also has
Still?
HDR capabilities
Capabilities,
as
too.
well.
Okay.
I mean, this is for a very specific type of this is for the early adapters of consoles, and they do exist. And I think this is what is being marketed to. Like they're breaking up their marketing tiers, and you see this with PCs. I mean, new PCs come out all the time. The fact that something is coming out to be a little bit better is the people who
but
bought
PC's
Xbox.
upgradable.
That's a good point.
PC is upgradable. You can buy any part of a PC that you want. You don't have to buy a whole new computer every time you want to
But
upgrade.
a laptop
Right.
usually isn't, and a lot of people jump laptops, right? And if you can think of Xbox One having 10 years of different versions, all games work. It's just a different experience because of like the fact that you get like higher frame rate or whatever. Like you could.
I'm still unconvinced
Sure.
about the upgrade, the game thing. Because like they when they test the game when they're developing it, right? It's on a specific type of architecture for that particular
Right.
console, right? So like if you're making an Xbox game, you have like a demo Xbox console, right? That you're making it to make sure that it can push it to its limits, but also stay within the bounds that processor is capable of rendering the entire gameplay. So you don't have slowdowns, you don't have stuttering, you don't have any graphical issues when you're playing it. If you're taking a game made for this generation of games of consoles, and then all of a sudden you're having it render at 4K, like how do you know that that's going to be able to like transfer over?
I just think if I can make a assumption, is that Xbox One is closer to a PC than we think, and their dev kits will be able to support different settings that can jump up and down. So you have a Scorpio dev kit, and that thing can show you what it would look like on a Scorpio. Change the setting down to an Xbox One or an Xbox Slim. Show you
Here's
that
another
setting as
catch.
well.
here's another catch too as well. So like I agree with you too, Alan. Like I don't like the idea of having to drop $450.
So here's the key word
You
there
know,
that you
like-
say have to drop. You do not have to buy
No,
into
well,
this
of
game
course, okay.
or this console.
So that was the thing. That's the kind of thing. So like, I guess this is the deal. Like, if as a gamer myself, I like to stay on the bleeding edge. Like, what's the new stuff coming around the
Right.
corner? What's all this? What's that? So that for me feels like I have to. You know what I mean? Like if it comes around, like I want to participate. I want to be in that. New, if it has some type of value, you know what I mean? If it's like okay, exclusive only PlayStation 5 games, and you're like, oh man, like I can't do this backwards compatible thing. I can't go buy. Mine
But
doesn't have
that's
the
not
Xbox.
the case here. You
No, I get that.
all
With
it's
a-
doing is enhancing your experience and allowing extra features like VR. So like it's going to be 10 times more powerful than
Well,
the
this
Xbox
is this
One.
is what I was going to say. I get Alan's point with that idea and that concept of not wanting to have to go drop so much at the same time. But the other side of that, you know, is that I sure as hell also want the most advanced technology that we have capable. So if like instead of waiting 5 years, just to wait 5 years to put that span of time in there for people to feel like that's a reasonable amount of time. If we came out with now 4 or 5 different motherboards that are going to make it 15%, you know, better quality, I would prefer to have that and have a PlayStation 4S or an Xbox S in between. You know what I mean? That's going to give me better gameplay.
I guess
that's what I'm saying.
sure.
Well,
I mean,
that
I
wouldn't
understand where you
matter
guys are coming
for
from
me
because it's
now,
jarring
you know?
and it's different. But I can also see where they're coming from because like I didn't get an the only reason why I get Xbox One is because one, it was free, and two, it was like a year after it came out. So I don't know when you guys got your PS4, but by the time I probably would have bought an Xbox One, it would have been 2 years out with at least one price point drop. So this
Mine was
Xbox,
about 3 or 4 months in for a PlayStation 4 for
Mine was release
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
I got
pretty
mine a
much-
couple years after it came out.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, Rocco got like one of the first ones.
Well, that's what I was talking about when I was saying bleeding edge and stuff like that. Like I
But-
usually tend to do that. Like I
Okay.
tend to be the guy
But
with
that
the Wii.
scenario is
Like,
different because you have a PS3, which could not jump. Like if your PS3 could have played all
Exactly.
the PS4 games and you didn't have to worry about that, and it was closer.
So that's
in
why I'm
gap.
saying I like this Xbox Scorpio or Scorpia. What is it called? Scorpio?
Project Scorpio. It's tentative.
Project Scorpio. I like this idea.
Get
honestly.
over here.
I like the fact that you're going to come out with a system that's going to have this backwards, compatibility and forward compatibility kind of idea
Right.
too as well, and going to give me the upgrade for like the new technology that's around. You want it to be like I'm playing on my PlayStation 4, which is a $450 device, but it can't upscale the quality, the resolution, whatever you want to say, to my 4K TV that I just recently bought. So it's like now there's a lack of technology connection to give me that quality that I really want to have. So I wouldn't mind having a PlayStation 4 Scorpio.
But that's why
you know what I
this-
mean. That's going to
sure.
give me those
Okay.
extra abilities.
I'm just saying, you have
know?
options, right? The Slim is out there, and if you want to trade in your Xbox One, drop an extra 50
Yeah.
to get to 300 price point, and now you have a 4K ready device.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
True,
real
too.
fast?
Real quick, and then I think
so
we have to wrap up.
Are the games for the Scorpio, are those compatible with Xbox One?
Yes.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
That's
that's where I'm also kind of like thrown off. The reverse of having older games working for newer ones, I can understand like the hardware can handle it, but a game developed for the Scorpio is having a 10 times more powerful processor.
Yep.
And then if I just buy it from my Xbox One, like how do I know that that's even going to work unless it's actually just down resing it to like a lower quality than what I would
Right.
get on the
It's
Scorpio.
exactly what you have to like think. This is we are breaching PC development like strategy and tact like I don't what's the word
That's-
for it? Just like formula. Like
But then why not get a computer? Because that's the whole point of getting a console is like you're locked on this one system. You know everything runs perfectly for this type of setup. Like there's
Everyone has the same
There's no
thing.
doubt that when you play it, like it's gonna run like this.
yeah. So you're gonna still so it's a hybrid of that, right? Like they're not gonna release a game and say it's for Xbox One family and not function. Like a PC is a little bit more open where if you buy it, you're fucked if you don't check your settings. So there will be some locking. However, there is enough broadness to it and openness to it that you know that if you get it on the Scorpio, it's going to run fucking 1080p, 60 frames per second, whereas maybe on the Xbox One, it's not the highest quality of graphics. It maybe will run 30 frames per second, right? Like, especially with a
That
competitive...
right there feels like it's forcing your hand to buy the Scorpio. Then, to me,
It's the same. It's just the same mentality with a PC. I mean, if you're gonna buy Call of Duty for PC, you need to just know if, like, I would hope that they have a threshold of like, look, for competitive games that are Twitch, you can't go, but like, like it would just, the game wouldn't sell if it came out and Xbox One owners got 20 frames per second, right? It has to be at least 30 frames per second. Games like now on the console and PC have this bar that you have to hit. And there is an exception that if you have an old PC, then you're like, well, yeah, you're fucked. You just have to get a new PC. And that's fine. But that's like a 10-year gap, right? So that's the mentality there. Is if someone has a 360, right, yeah, you're not going to be able to play this game. But if someone has an Xbox One family and this game is for that family, you have to expect that it has to work 30 frames per second. Because if it doesn't, and I'm talking in the next 5 years, if it doesn't, then that game's not going to sell and they have to support that. In 10 years, maybe we're talking about a different story. It's like, dude, you should probably upgrade. So I think
I mean,
there's some technicality stuff to this. There's some real sensitive like details that they have to hit and announce, and we have to kind of see.
yeah.
I would hope that's how it works out. Because if it doesnn, I agree. That then what's the point, right? Then I feel like they've failed
Yeah,
at
I'm
their
just, like,
achievement or goal.
I'm just worried because like the whole console development cycle, like the time frame, like you look at a game that made at the very beginning of a console release, and then you look at a game that's made at the end of a console release, like the amount of power that they get out, like the graphical fidelity at the end of the games, like looks so much better than what they do in the very beginning, because they've learned how to like really harness everything on that console and like push it to its maximum. And if you're just like throwing like new hardware at it every single time, then you're not going to get anybody to develop something, like get the time to develop and get like the best out of it. You're not going to get a Last of Us at the end of the console development the same way you did like on PlayStation 3.
From what I
Like,
understand,
if you're always upgrading the hardware.
from what I understand, is
Yeah,
the
that's
developers have been there for a bit now. They've hit the end, and they need something more. That's what I understand. So
I can't believe that. With,
That's
like,
what I hear.
These consoles that only been out for like 4 years, like maybe less, like 3 years, right?
that's
I think
that's what I'm getting.
I
That's
think
what
it's
I've
not
read it.
even
I'll
3
try to
years.
find something. We do have to move on because we've kind of gone way
Okay.
too far.